Never saw this before in my life, and I'm a street man since '61, right? Driving. Okay? I mean, and why did they have this? And they put up the maze. I saw the planes put up the chemtrails, and the haze was over the metropolitan area. But outside the metropolitan area, the blue sky that was originally was there. When I saw that procedure, I never saw this before. The cop cars backed up on the sidewalk, ready to crash you, right? And Kennedy he was one of them, but he knew, and his administration was full of Council of Foreign Relations, and he knew what to do, though, and he did it with that getting Executive Order 11110, taking apart the Federal Reserve and the money, because that's where they got us, with the money.
He knew about the Jesuit control, the Vatican control in America, and wanted to put a stop to it.
Well, maybe brought it to our light. He had his Oracle, George magazine, to speak. I believe the Skolnick and them who say he was going to run. That's why they killed him. I knew they killed him. I was not on the net. I should have been on the net in '94, but that's another story. But but I've spent thousands of hours on in the last few years, and I think the net is the greatest blessing, and if you use it. But if you spend 40, 60, 100 hours of serious studying, you'll get on your way. I tell anybody who might be listening. Serious studying, but you got to get over the prejudices, the things that are in your mind that you keep telling yourself this stuff. Just put that on the side and try some compassion and look at things differently, huh?
Yeah, the Internet's about the only place you're going to get some real news. Places like DrudgeReport.com and Rents.com and WingTV.com.
There's more, too. There's that one in England. There's more. Even that Educate Yourself has their own thing, too, on news. There's more. There's many. And the ones that tickle you, anything that tickles your fancy, I say subscribe to the newsletter. You can always delete it, but open some of them. And every day, do this. I turned off the TVs 20 months ago. I didn't even want to hear Bush and that. I heard you surprised me. You said you watched the inauguration. I don't want to participate in their madness. If enough of us, if we were really in the spirit, they wouldn't dare run on what they're running, because we come with our God in spirit, huh? And God would sing through the angels and saints and us all of creation. And they couldn't resist the song of love, huh? Which the early church had, maybe for 100, 150, 200 years. They had love. They got down, huh? Together. And that's why they were unbeatable. But I could ramble on, but, Clinton and Hillary and all them, later, why go around this circle? I mean, I'm ready for the resurrection. I'm ready with the Blessed Virgin Mary to blink it all out so our son can really come. You know who he is. You know how he's really going to come. He doesn't have to whack the earth and redo it. We can do it and have it ready for him. We should make peace with everyone. That's what we're told to do. Forgive, bring his love, make peace with all creation. I don't fight with no demon. I tell him to see my mother Mary. She's got the plan for everyone. She was there at Calvary. It was given to her. She's the mother. That's the role. That's why Lucifer and them fell. They wanted to.
Yeah, but you crossing the line into idol worship.
People do, because they don't respect the woman. They don't respect the woman, God in her heart. They're making an idol out of her. Sure, I grant that. It's disgusting. They make idols out of everything, but for the grace of God, go I. But I'm talking about a personality, huh? Mary Magdalene is real to me. John the Divine or the Apostle is real. Just like John Kennedy Sr. or Jr. is real, as well as my mother and father and my loved ones. And they're saints to me, huh? And they're real people. They're real people. They're the family that Jesus made, huh? And he gave us his lineage. And Joseph, we're all of the house of David. We're all royal, And Mary was a daughter of David. That's our lineage. The world ended and is being remade since Calvary. I deal with not only the baby Jesus. I'm looking at him at 13 years old, huh? And he says, I'm a man. And, I think that 13-year-old men and women should be set free. But that's another subject. But I think that's the cause of the problems. People are in denial of what was done to them, what they're doing to the young ones, the 13 to 20-year-olds. give them a gun to go and kill, but not a wife or a husband to love and cherish. I mean, what they're doing to and been done to them and doing to their grandchildren, and they don't know how to get out of it. The only way to get out of it is wake up and realize this lie that they've run on us. Go and study, see what they do to their children. But it's our passion that they took that we need to get back. Then we'll know, because that's God. God is the God of love, passion.
All right, well, thanks for calling in, George.
Okay, God love you, dear.
So, God bless. God bless.
Okay, you too, bye-bye.
We got about 10 more minutes on this hour, folks. Listener call on line 260-356-2611. Released 2 articles on my websites this week. One of them called The Internet Deceptions of the Anik, and the other called Alien Deceptions of the Last Days. And you might want to read these at the SherryShriner.com, also at SherryTalkRadio.com. And, these articles have been a long time coming. Just being able to sit down and put everything into words. This week, as the Lord led me to just sit down and write about them, wrote them off the top of my head, because so many deceptions are going on today. Lucifer is alive and well on the internet. His forces, they never sleep. And what I did was expose some of their tactics that they like to use on the internet. And one of the biggest things that they're doing on the internet is collecting information, and a lot of you might sit and laugh, at the fact that these aliens, these fallen angels are on the internet, but folks, they gave us the internet. The internet was part of the technology exchange that they've had with our government and treaties over the years since 1930s, maybe even earlier. I don't know of anything any earlier, not saying there wasn't, but we do know that probably one of the first treaties made between the President of the United States and an alien nation was in 1933, and that they've been ongoing since. And, even Jeremiah stated that the last days of Babylon, the last great nation of the earth, would be in cahoots with Satan and his forces. And that's what's going on. We've had these treaties going with them. We have underground bases all over America. And, he even says that the other nations commit the same kind of adultery and fornication as Babylon has, and that they're making these unholy alliances with Lucifer, and they're encouraging other nations to do the same. And you saw that not 2 weeks ago with India threatening to come out, in which they did in their own way, telling the world that they had been, contacted by aliens, and they wanted to announce it to the world that, the aliens existed and stuff, and in their own way they did right then and there, and people just don't get it, But, all these other nations are doing the same thing as the United States has done. They're letting them in their countries. They're giving them bases and land, giving them joint facilities to use with them. And, every nation, the United States, China, Germany, they have their own fleets of UFOs. So it's not always a question of, do UFOs exist? It's who's flying it at the time, and, which nation does it belong to? We know the United States has their own fleet. They have their own fleet of UFOs. And this is all part of the last days deceptions, folks, and some of the things that we were warned of that were going to go on that are already happening. And so, they're on the internet, folks. They're on the internet, and what they do is they hunt and they target down Christians because they're always looking for information on the last days, on things that the Lord has told them specifically. And so they love to hang out at the prophecy boards or people that are giving visions and prophecies and words, and what they like to do is set their own people up into these places to dominate them. And they plagiarize, they'll copy everybody's visions and prophecies, and when they enter into a place, in order to mingle in and look like one of